Well, Corey, Oprah's book club has been one of my big pet peeves forever, so it really stuck a nerve and a chord with me, and it really made me laugh. But talking a little bit more about Shelf Monkey, I went online to just kind of do some research about you and more about what the general thought was on the book. It's getting incredible reviews, a lot of interesting comparisons, and sometimes I don't like comparisons when people compare it to stuff because I think it doesn't ring true. But one that kind of did ring, a few different people mentioned it, so I'm going to bring it up. And a few different people said, the literary type meets Fight Club. And kind of meaning the librarian meets Fight Club. And do you respect that? Will you take that as a compliment, or do you think it's off, or do you want to expand upon that a little bit?
I'll take whatever I can get, actually. I mean, when I wrote the book, it's my first novel, and I really just wrote it to make myself laugh. I never actually thought it would get published. And then to have comparisons in that matter to authors I respect and admire enormously. I mean, it's Fight Club. How can you argue with Fight Club? And you know, I mean, it also lends to what the book's talking about too. I mean, I knew that going in, if I ever got this published, there's going to be a problem in that it's about people obsessed with works of literature, and yet this is really not literature per se. It's not good for you. It's, you know, it's pulp literature is what it is. So I thought it was like a pulp novel about literature. And to get those kind of comparisons, I mean, I've read, someone compared me to Max Barry, and I thought I was, you know what, and then I'd never read Max Barry, and I go read him, and it's just, you know what, it's exactly right. It's sort of the same mindset, and I certainly don't mind it. I mean, I think that's how you find new authors, is like you branch out from the authors you like, you find someone that's compared like them, and it just goes on from there. So, no, I take it all as an incredible compliment.
Well, you were sent my way by a mutual friend, and he couldn't have done me a better favor than recommending your novel and you to be on the show, because, like I say, I got a heck of a kick out of it. And all the things I liked about Fight Club are in the book, but more importantly for me, just him not knowing, as a young person, I worked in a used bookstore, and not as much as what you went through, but a lot of the similar, some people getting too carried away with the literature things, not enough carried away. I really loved it, and I just think you've hit so many interesting different points, and so many people can pick this book up and really, really, really get a smile out of it. And I just want to congratulate you for an incredible first novel.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, it was just a ton of fun to read, and I'm thinking that one of the best compliments I've gotten is that a lot of people read it and they've told me, now I have to read all these books that I talk about in the book. And you know, I mean, I was playing with a lot of the stuff. A lot of the stuff, it's what the characters like, not necessarily what I would like. But I like the fact that people have taken it. My editor had an idea that, you know, we talked about this back and forth. Should we actually explain more of the books that the characters eventually talk about? And then we decided, you know, together, no, it's not necessary. I mean, if you're reading it and you get the references, great. And if you don't get the references, you're going to want to go out and read them. So either way, and if you just don't get the references at all, if they fly over your head, well, then that's fine too. I mean, we need to know, we knew going in what the audience was for this. The people who are going to like it were people like me. So they're going to get the jokes, and if they don't get the jokes, hopefully they'll take something out of it.
Okay, Corey, so the literary references, you do recommend that people should kind of look into some of those books, or that was just more for your fun, right? Writing in some of the references.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I can't actually even admit to having read all the novels that the characters say they've read. I mean, most of them are novels that I want to read, and I've read obviously the majority of them. But I mean, it was important that the characters grow beyond just what was in my head. So a lot of them, Aubrey, for example, the guy who runs the book club, he likes, he's at one point reading David Foster Wallace's Infinite Jest, and I've read a few things by David Foster Wallace, and honestly, he makes my nose bleed. It's the depth of it it's too hard for me to read sometimes. But people love him, and the character would love him. So that it was important for me to make those distinctions.
Excellent. Well, Corey, I absolutely love the book Shelf Monkey. I think you did an amazing job on your first novel. Really something to be proud of.
Thank you.
And also, real quick, I just wanted to remind people to go to your website A lot of cool things going on there. So as we're wrapping it up, why don't you just tell the folks at home your website real quick?
My website is, oh boy, I can't remember it now. My website is shelf-monkey.blogspot.com. I started it to simply promote the novel, but it's sort of taken off, and now I put in reviews as well, talk about my new novel that I'm working on, whatever comes to mind.
Well, that's a really cool website, and we're going to have a link up for it, both on the show and at our website. So I wish you continued success, Corey. You did an amazing job, and folks at home, I really recommend you pick up Shelf Monkey. It's an amazing book. I think you'll just get a big smile on your face when you're done reading it. But right now, we're going to have to wrap it up, so we'll see you next time on Cult Pop.
Thank you.